Thank you for joining our webinar, The Story of 5G in Hong Kong. I'm Wendy Chow, the moderator for today's event. According to a GSA report, 38 countries had 5G network as of this August. 5G is a game changer for virtually all industries. The investment in the 5G infrastructure is huge, up to $800 billion for the coming 5 years, and the way that 5G will change the scenario of different industries is more like an evolution than a revolution. Asia is in a better position to tap on the data growth with 5G. According to GSMA, Asia Pacific will be the world's largest 5G region by 2025, hitting 675 million connections, or more than half of the global volume. Today, we have two speakers, Cindy Zhang and Dr. Eddie Chiu, to share with us the story of 5G in Hong Kong and the business opportunities it can create as it makes our city smarter. Mr. Cindy Zhang is Head Market and Competition Division of ASTRI. His team is responsible for the administration of the subsidy scheme for encouraging early adoption of 5G. Dr. Eddie Chiu is Senior Manager of ASTRI. Eddie has managed multiple R&D projects in 5G, 4G radio communications technologies, spectrum policies, and smart city applications. He has also led multiple government telecommunications consultancy services. Eddie is a senior member of IEEE and the treasurer of the IEEE Hong Kong session. He is an active reviewer for various IEEE transactions on wireless communications, and he frequently serves on the technical program committees of major IEEE conferences on wireless communications. Now, Eddie, Silly, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Wendy, for the introduction. Let me see. Share screen. Can you see the screen? Excuse me?
Not yet.
Go to Zoom. Zoom, please. And then share the green.
Oh, yeah, I can't see it. Sorry about that.
Slideshow, the third one. Thank you.
Okay, can you see me? And as well as this PowerPoint?
Yes.
Yes, okay, maybe I can start now. Thank you, Wendy, for the introduction. My name is Sydney, and I'm from the Office of the Communications Authority. Today, I would like to introduce how 5G is doing in Hong Kong and some of this development, and also my emphasis will be on the 5G subsidy scheme which we just introduced in May this year. Maybe I just give some very brief introduction of where we are. Actually, from the first G, actually there's no first G, but later on we have the 3G, 4G, then we go back to have 1G and 2G. And then it's actually about 40 years ago. For every 10 years, there will be a new generation coming out. So now it's after 40 years, now it's going to the 5G. And basically, everybody will think that this is much more higher bandwidth or download speed. So previously in the 3G arena, so we have to use an hour to download a movie, but now it can be downloaded in terms of seconds for the 5G scenario. But actually, 5G is more than just high speed. So there are three main constituents. One is the enhanced mobile broadband, which is basically higher speed. And secondly is the ultra reliable and low latency communication, which is the low latency, which enables some of the applications which we may use in future. For example, what we talk about is those intelligent transport systems, such as auto piloting, auto driving, and also some of the time-critical missions. For example, the remote surgery, that kind of applications. And also, it also involves the massive machine-type communication on the IoT, because for 5G, it can enable more than 1 million devices to be within 1 square kilometers. So there will be basically everything you can imagine that will be on the internet later on. because of this huge amount of device which can be enabled. So what we have done in Hong Kong as a regulator of the communication industry. First of all, 5G, of course, it has to make use of the wireless spectrum in order to build the infrastructure. So we have already assigned nearly 2,000 megahertz of spectrum for the 5G. So there are two basic bands. One is what we call the mid-frequency band, the 3.3 gigahertz up to the 4.9 gigahertz. And also we have assigned a spectrum in the 26 and 28 gigahertz band to two different kinds of operators. One is for those which is the mobile level operators, and also one is for those industry, which is a private company. They can, in terms of an on-share basis, they can also apply for a spectrum, so that the share spectrum for us to do the localized wireless broadband services. And in fact, one operator or one company has already applied for it in order to implement in their premises. And altogether, we have assigned the frequency for those public mobile service providers for 4 of them, and which are all the existing mobile operators. And in addition, they can also make use of the existing spectrum in their 2G, 3G, or 4G to launch the 5G service as well. So other than allocating the spectrum or frequency, we have also helped the mobile operators to build the infrastructure. The first one is we opened up over 1,000 government premises for them to build their base station. And we allow different forms of mobile network sharing so that the different mobile operators can launch or can roll out their network in a more efficient manner, such that they can share their network such that the rollout or the coverage can be expanded in a more efficient way. And also we have facilitated them to use the payphone kiosks or bus shelters so as to build their base stations. And also we have another subsidy scheme to extend the fiber network to remote areas, such that for those areas, they can also have fiber access for the backhaul in order to build the mobile network. So we have adopted a pro-competition and technology neutral approach to drive the innovation, and so that to open up the opportunities for the community or the business community, so as to drive the different applications to enable the economic development. So the 5G service is basically launched in April this year, 2020, and from now it's already over half a year. Because of the pandemic situation this year, so we see that there will be a reluctance in some of the business players to make use of the 5G service. So in view of this, we have introduced a subsidy scheme for encourage early deployment of 5G in May this year under the anti-epidemic fund. What is the objective of this subsidy scheme? It is used to encourage various different sectors through the provision of financial incentive so that they can adopt the 5G technology in their business operation as soon as possible. And through this program, we would like to foster innovation and also smart city applications. And from these kind of applications, we expect to improve the efficiency of operation and quality of service of the various sectors in Hong Kong and contribute to the overall competitiveness of the city. So what is the application period? Initially, the application is starting from May this year, and it's based on a first come, first served basis. And it ended actually last month. But now we have extended the application period till May next year. So altogether, the application period is around 1 year, starting from May this year. So there's another like half a year left behind so that people can apply for it. But of course, we have used the first come, first served basis. So if the subsidy pool is already exhausted, then the application will end. So who are eligible to apply for this subsidy scheme? So long as you have a business registration or a company registered with in the company audience, and also a statutory body or charity organization, schools or university, or even government departments. In other words, basically any kind of business entity will probably be eligible for application. And also even public bodies as well, they can also apply for it. But we have some basic criteria. They cannot be a new company just set up this year. So they have to be set up before January this year. So that means about 1 year's operation from till now. And for each applicant, they can only receive subsidy for once. So that different companies can also enjoy the subsidy. Not only well, one company will have different several subsidies. So what is the amount of the subsidy? So it will be 50% of the actual cost directly related to the deployment of the 5G technology in the project, and subject to a cap. So it's 50% of the project budget approved by us, or 500,000, or the amount of the remaining subsidy available. So basically, the cap is 500,000 if your project is 1 million. Or if it is over 1 million, then the cap is still 500,000. So what are the requirements, basic criteria when we assess the application? So as the name implies, 5G must be deployed in the project, and is a primary enabler for deploying the project. And also it can tell us that after the deployment, it can have benefits, can compare it with using 3G or 4G or Wi-Fi or fixed network scenarios. And also it should need to be a kind of innovation or cross-sectoral synergy. In what I would like to explain a little bit more. So if the project is just simply a general use of 5G device or service, then just for basically internet connection without any specific applications, then we will be regarded as just a general use and will not be considered because of this criteria. And also the project has to be completed by September next year, so or before that, so that there's an end, which a definite deadline, which they need time to implement the project. So because one of the objective is for business to deploy the project as soon as possible. So we set a definite time that they have to complete the project before September next year. So after the approval, how will be the subsidy granted? So it will be divided into 2 portions. The first portion, which is 50%, will be granted upon we approve the project and also the applicant signed the letter of acceptance to us. That means they accept to receive the grant, then they will receive the first 50% of the subsidy. And the second portion will be granted when they have issued, because in the end of the project, they are required to submit a completion report as well to us, and also an audit report to show how much they have spent in the project. So after we receive the report, we will do a vetting, and then everything normal, then we will issue a notice of completion of the report. And then afterwards, we will grant the second part, or 50% of the subsidy. Because our main objective is to encourage different companies in Hong Kong to adopt the 5G technology, so we will require the grantees to publish a non-confidential version of their report on in our website, and also take part in some sharing sections, so as to share their experience, good or bad, to the general other industry players, so that the other people would like can learn from their experience in deploying the 5G technologies, and what are the difficulties and what are the benefits, and so on and so forth with their colleagues or fellow players. And of course, they can hide their confidential elements, but basically they have to tell people how this project can help their business. So far, up to November, end of November, so we have approved 21 applications. So we expect to accommodate around 100 applications at the end. So there's still a lot of room for people to apply now. So we have approved projects in different industries, like the construction industry, in which they make use of the building information modeling systems for automating their construction site and also helping their construction site development, and also some kind of building facility management so that they can make use of the 5G technology for some sort of remote technology support. And also we have some medical applications in which there's a remote control of the surgical robots. And we also have some interior design in which the applicants make use of the augmented reality or virtual reality applications so that they can show to their clients or customers how a vacant room will be fitted with different furnitures and fittings using the AR technology. And through this process, they have to make use of some VR, AR glasses, or so as to show the interior design to the clients. So there are different applications, and we expect to approve quite a number of applications this month as well. So it is because of the development, so we have some encouraging news that there are more and more applications which are being approved. So if you were interested or you would like to know more about the scheme, please go to our website. So there will be different the application form, application guideline, as well as some frequently asked questions, the Q&A, and also some of the successful cases. And actually, we do have some video already posted on successful cases which they already completed the project. So we can also take a look at those projects, and maybe there's some kind of experience sharing as well, and you can induce people to see how the 5G technology can help on their business operations. So this is basically my presentation for today. Now I would like to pass the floor to Dr. Chiu of ASTRI to take a look at how the 5G developments are.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you so much. Can you see my screen? Thank you. So I'm very glad to be here to present different 5G innovations, opportunities, and collaborations. And I'm also very pleased to do my presentation right after Sydney, because I believe we will have some synergy on our discussions. So just taking a step back, I get this question a lot. You know, I tell friends and family I do 5G, and the question is always, is it just another faster 4G, or how does it compare with Wi-Fi? Why do we need 5G? Well, there is no one cure-all solution, but 5G can address certain problems that 4G or 5G, whether it's the legacy Wi-Fi or the future versions of Wi-Fi, cannot do. So let's take a look at what 5G is meant for. So everybody knows it's the 5th generation technology standard for broadband cellular networks. So compared to 4G and Wi-Fi, in general, they have technologies that can support higher data rates, lower latency, higher reliability, connectivity in high mobility vehicles. So we have use cases like vehicle to everything communications, and more users and devices. So the list goes on. It really depends on your needs and whether you can find the right use case for 5G. And what are the use cases? Now we know, again, in public media, we know there is enhanced mobile broadband, ultra reliable low latency communications, massive machine type communications for different opportunities to digitization in our daily lives. But exactly what they convert to. So, for example, mission critical communications can be used for manufacturing when you have wireless control. Robots need real-time control, and if you use conventional wireless communication mechanisms, the communication link might fail. Wi-Fi is 5G is specifically designed so that the failure rate is lower, and therefore is more suitable for these use cases. For example, there are critical control like the energy industry. Now, we already see many wireless solutions for augmented reality, virtual reality in retail and education. But of course, sometimes you see lagging. You know, even when we're doing Zoom, if we have interactive discussions, there could be some latency. You know, if we have a 5G network, of course, depending on the case by case, we expect that you have more guaranteed low latency scenarios. And putting both high reliability, low latency, and high bandwidth together, we can approach cases like 5G for healthcare. And actually, as far as I know, in the Hong Kong public sector, we are looking into adopting 5G for smart healthcare. Now, just to put things further into perspective, when we talk about 5G use cases, in my opinion, we have to look at from the consumer's angle as well as the enterprise angle. I found a pair of rather interesting studies, recent studies in 2020, conducted by one of the leading technology developing companies. So they conducted this survey among, I think, 3,000 participants, consumers or consumer groups in South Korea, US, and UK. And this is what they perceive as the most appealing use cases for 5G in the order of fixed wireless access. What it means is instead of using wired broadband, due to whatever reason, it's just not feasible or too costly to set up broadband, to use 5G to provide wireless communication, just like your Wi-Fi, fixed access. Enhanced mobile broadband is NICS, which is what we are accustomed to, you know, surfing the web, watching videos on the move. Now, what's interesting is video detection. What we mean by video detection is doing uninterrupted video calls, media streaming from drones, bikes, and non-wired locations, and have the with the proper application complementing it, you can do live video analytics for object detection and triggering different types of alerts if needed. You know, echoing on some of the successful applicants of the subsidy schemes that Sydney mentioned, we can see a lot of potential on this because we're talking about things that move. So 4G might not be good enough. Wi-Fi is not meant for outdoors, so 5G has a stand in that particular field. So moving down, we have AR, VR, which we know what they are for immersive experiences, augmented reality, cloud gaming, augmented reality, virtual reality. You know, you can also do it with 4G and Wi-Fi, but for live real-time responses, you need a reliable link that only 5G can provide. Cloud gaming is quite interesting. I have a slide on that too. Right now, mobile gaming is a very hot industry, but you need a lot of downloading, system upgrading. If you can have a reliable 5G link, you can push a lot of the processing onto the cloud. Smart venues is a hot topic. Is not as popular as I originally anticipated, probably because people haven't seen exactly how to do it. One of the original visions of 5G is to enable live high-definition video streaming in events, sports games, concerts, theme parks, museums, etc. We might be a little bit slow on this this year because of the Olympics being postponed, but I believe this to pick up with a lot of interesting applications starting 2021. Then we have at the end of the list for now, for the time being, connected vehicles. We have seen the proliferation of electric cars with different types of auto navigation, but 5G actually has bring a new angle to assisted driving and autonomous driving, making use of the vehicle to everything and vehicle to infrastructure communications. Basically, whether the driver is a human being or an AI, if it has a certain means to communicate with the environment, you can improve the driving efficiency and safety. And I have another slide to talk about this more. We also believe this is an upcoming application for 5G. So next, let's have a look at what enterprises think are the best opportunities for 5G. And we see a rather interesting trend. We have the some of the ranking of the applications are reversed. Again, we see the likes of the video detection and alerts because we can see many businesses can benefiting from setting up cameras, etc., to support video analytics of real-time object detection and alerting. The keyword is real-time, as we already touched on. We need 5G to give you that real-timeness. And we have down the list EMBB and then remote control machinery. Same thing that we talked about on the road towards Industry 4.0. We need 5G to provide sensor and connected equipment to improve efficiency, productivity, quality, and safety. 5G can connect to many devices, providing real-time data, real-time control. Connected vehicles move the list way up to enterprises because businesses can already see different applications that they can apply by connecting vehicles. Now, I touch on vehicle to everything from the driving safety sense, but from the fleet management sense, you can make use of 5G. In mainland China, in North America, we have a lot of trucks, trans-provincial, trans-state trucks, which could really benefit from different types of connected vehicle technology, taking advantage of 5G. So going down the list, we can see again cloud robotics, AR, VR, but from enterprises angle, AR, VR is by comparison less of a breakthrough compared to connected vehicles and connected robots. So now for businesses, then after listening to what I said, then you might think, well, how do I capitalize on these 5G opportunities? I briefly list out 3 points here that I think we should all think about. First of all, identify your applications and define your system requirements. And then after that, for 5G, it gets interesting. You have to decide whether you can make use of the existing public network or if you need a private network in your premise. And then you have to source and get the technology pieces together. And I'll talk about each of these one by one. So I'm proud to say, thanks to OFCA's efforts, Hong Kong launched 5G in April 1st, 2020. And this is a live statistics that I collected yesterday from a neutral party. And we can see that by now, most of the urban areas in Hong Kong is already covered by 5G, either by using the newly released spectrum bands or by using a dynamic spectrum sharing technology to add 5G functionality on top of their 4G systems. And some mobile operators have been very creative and already offering business packages using 5G technologies. These are two of the operators' offerings. And in terms of the private network, Hong Kong has taken a very good step, a large step, and that's the Hong Kong International Airport. I listed some facts here, and as I was putting the slides together, I was like, wow, you know, we have all these in Hong Kong already. So we have one of the first 5G covered airports in the world about to launch very, very soon. And they also have the first 5G private network in Hong Kong to enable different applications, which I'll touch on the next slide. This particular site has a very thorough, well-designed network covering using mid-band radio for the large coverage, both in indoor environment and in the apron area for different applications. And they adopted the localized wireless broadband service scheme that Sydney talked about to enable high throughput, low latency applications. They are the very first licensee of this scheme. And this particular site has an extensive 5G infrastructure for both private and public connectivity. Just look at the numbers: 4,000 indoor radio units, 500 outdoor radio units to promote a smart facility in Hong Kong. And some of the use cases under planned, according to HAIA, is private radio for staffs, both for operations and security, multifunction robots connected to the cloud via 5G, different virtual reality, augmented reality applications for enhancing operations, smart kiosks, collaborative stands, and like what I said, vehicle to everything communications. You may wonder why does airport need vehicle to everything? Well, one particular application is in the apron area. Their luggage trucks need to have good communication to ensure safety when moving around. So if you need technology, one place that can help you is us, ASTRI. We are a government subvention, and we are neutral to work with any party and any country, but we are here to support GBA 5G deployment. So a brief introduction about ourselves. As I said, we are a government subvention established in year 2000 by the Hong Kong government. We are Hong Kong's largest applied technology R&D center. Just by the numbers, we have over 500 applied research professionals. And over the past 20 years, this is our 20th anniversary this year, we have already made over 750 technology transfer to the industries, and we have a strong patent portfolio on different technologies, not just 5G, but also different smart applications. We focus on different areas. I belong to the smart city area doing 5G technologies. But we also have colleagues working on financial technology R&D, health technology R&D, intelligent manufacturing, and we have people working on application-specific integrated circuits. Based on the previous discussion, as an overview, I can tell you that we have the 5G network technologies. For financial technologies, we have secure technologies. For intelligent manufacturing, we have different types of AR, VR technologies which could well blend with 5G. So just to go further, as I mentioned, for 5G deployment, you can look at different cases. If you are interested in developing 5G network, we have developed a 5G core network and base station technology, so we can work with different companies interested in investing in Hong Kong to consider setting up their private network, just like, for example, the one I talked about in the airport. And we have different form factors supporting different scale of operations. And just an overview of some of the solutions we already have to enable some of the cases I talked about. For example, cloud robotics for smart factories, cloud gaming, connected vehicles, and V2X technologies for traffic safety. So this is one particular case of deploying 5G and 5G applications. We work with a Taiwanese company at their Shenzhen base, where they license ASTRI's technology to deploy 5G private network, and then we collaborated with them to investigate robot tracking and robot positioning. So in this particular case, we use a cloud system for using AI vision for item tracking, and then using 5G network, and then support them to use 5G network for the navigation and cloud control. V2X, we're very proud to be collaborating with the Transport Department and with OFCA support to give us a trial license to trial V2X connected vehicle technology. And we have this trial route along in Sha Tin. And we believe V2X is a technology for the future, making use of high-speed 5G connectivity to enable vehicles to communicate to each other, pass warning messages, status messages to one another, to the infrastructure, etc., to improve traffic efficiency and safety. And this is more of a test bed than a particular technology. We are setting up a test bed in the Hong Kong Science Park, collaborating with different industries which have high frequency band 5G technology, mid frequency band 5G technology, and some of the 5G applications already in place. So if you have a certain idea, you can reach out to us and see if you can trial it in a test bed. So that was a quick overview of my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. Back to you, Wendy.
So thank you so much to Eddie as well as Cindy. So we're glad to see that the Hong Kong government has been trying to promote the adoption of 5G in our city. And I think we also learned a lot about what Hong Kong Airport is doing with Eddie's sharing. So I think now we would like to open the floor to the attendees. If you have any questions for the two speakers, please, just input your question. Let's see. Maybe we will, I think this question is interesting, okay? So what would you expect, for both speakers, okay? So what would you expect to be the top 3 user cases in the GBA in the coming 3 years or so for 5G deployment? So where are the business opportunities? I think basically maybe attendees is interested in knowing about business opportunities in the GBA.
Well, I will start then. As I mentioned, we have been collaborating with technology companies to deploy smart factories in mainland China. We believe that this is smart manufacturing is one area that would could proliferate in the GBA area, because we have many factories in the GBA area. That's one angle.
Based on the experience of the applications or the applicants which we have received, we can see that there's a lot of remote kind of control, either using a robot. The robot can be in a shopping mall, it can be in a factory, it can be in different places. They can make use of the robot, or using even some cases they make use of it to do the technical maintenance of the facility maintenance on the remote part. So we can see that you make use of the robot in a very long distance, so as to control it to do different kinds of applications. And also we can see that there's some surgical or healthcare applications in which this is basically also a kind of a robot, a remote control robot, but with a very specific, different kind of application or different kind of for that specific use, just like the surgical elements, and they can make very well use of the low latency as well as the fast speed of the 5G in order to implement their solution. So we see that there's also some healthcare as well, and also in terms of the design. so that they can also have remote collaboration and also make use of the cloud computing, edge computing kind of technology, so as to make sure to have the design to be seen by their client instead of building a model or doing a demonstration in a much more costly manner. They can do it in a much more efficient and more visualizable manner to their clients. So there are some applications we can see that is already in the move. So we expect that this kind of application will come first. But probably all these are vehicle to X, all these, then it may still need some time for the development. But I guess that it's also on the road as well.
Okay, the next question, I think it is more for Sydney. Okay, so it is about the subsidy scheme for encouraging early adoption of 5G. So would Sydney like to, would you like to share some tips? For those cases that have been rejected, what mistakes they have made? Maybe the attendee would like to get some tips how to get application approved.
Okay, I guess the main focus the applicant should put on is, as I mentioned earlier, is the assessment criteria. They have to show that why they have to make use of 5G. So it is quite important in their application that they can show why they need to make use of 5G. Because some other cases, they either cannot show that, oh, okay, how it can better compare with 4G or the Wi-Fi situation. And secondly, what is the benefit to their business operation? So it's just not because I want to use 5G because it's a new thing. You have to tell us how this application or after the deployment of this project, how it can save your time or your money or your whatever, or or improve the quality of your service. That is the benefit which can bring to your business operation. Or there's something or which you haven't done before, that it can create a different angle in terms of your service or business offering to your clients, so that it can help your business growth. Then that's I think the basically two important things you have to bear in mind. For the other things, just like the budget, then it is also important, but we can discuss with them later on how they can, when they do the application, we will communicate with them to see how they can put in the right numbers. But for the most important thing is the first two ones, so they have to show that how 5G is needed and what is the benefit to the business operation of that company.
Now, we saw one question, but probably we need attendee to elaborate on that, because the question is about to request the speaker to go into more details about the user case. But would that attendee, provide more information? Would user case would you like to know more? And then what are the specifics that you would like to know more? And then I think Eddie would be easy. It would make things easier for Eddie to answer your question. So the next question is probably, I think it is based on Eddie's sharing about the V2X case. So this attendee would like to know, what is your estimation when do you think the 5G enabled V2X can be commercially launched in Hong Kong? What's the time frame?
Now, right now, I mentioned about the trial in Sha Tin. This trial will complete within 2021. And the Hong Kong government is already laying down the regulations, to the best of my knowledge, to support the eventual adoption in Hong Kong. And also internationally, in the US, in mainland China, there will be regulations similarly to Hong Kong to support this. Vehicles will have this particular technology implemented inside them. In the 2020, 2021 made cars. But as far as the final rollout in Hong Kong is concerned, I think it will still take maybe 2-3 years. But the infrastructure is coming in the coming year or two. So putting all this into perspective, I would say just my personal opinion, in terms of the regulation wise, we're looking at 2021-ish, when enough cars on the road are finally equipped with this technology. I would say maybe another several more years, because the ecosystem need to take care of itself. But I believe we can start seeing specific cases in specific areas like the Hong Kong International Airport using this particular technology in private roads and private infrastructure, private facilities. Just another piece of information, we're also working with another partner to use the same technology for enhancing the safety of trains. So that's what we believe in terms of the timeline. Thank you, Wendy.
Okay, so maybe I would like to combine two questions into one for Cindy. Okay, so will the Hong Kong government further support the deployment of 5G by introducing other supporting initiatives? And then the next one is, will the government enhance the subsidy amount for this scheme, for the current scheme, and will that scheme be extended for another round of funding?
Well, so far we only have this for my department. We only have this scheme, but we also have other government departments like the ITC, the Innovation and Technology Commission. They have also They are also supporting the Hong Kong different developers or different companies to roll out this kind of 5G programs. But for us in this scheme, we are actually concentrating on encouraging people to deploy the 5G projects early. So because of the early or as soon as possible, we would like to push. So we would like the projects to be actually not too big, so that they can deploy within a shorter period of time. So that, and also we would like to have more companies to enjoy the scheme. So that's why we introduced this program, and each one of them, actually some of the development costs can be regarded as their project costs and be subsidized in the scheme. So we are doing this in order to encourage people to deploy the project early. So so as I mentioned earlier, then there are other projects which is on the road by other government departments on the development of projects, maybe in the even earlier stage than the different departments doing this. And also for the whether the government is encouraging our own organization to do this, we actually allowing the government department or public organization to participate in this scheme as well. And we have actually received some applications. We are doing the vetting project, vetting process, and some in the medical field. So later on, when these projects are all completed, then you can see that how the projects can also benefit the general public because of being implemented in some public organizations.
Okay. Now the next question is fairly, it is very big question, okay? So I think it is for both speakers. It is about, where do you see the greatest impact of the convergence of 5G, IoT, and data analytics? So you can, they can take hours to talk about it. So what's your feedback on this big question?
Maybe I can draw some experience from the applications we have received so far. Some of them are actually making use of the detection or IoT or the sensors information, and they make use of it either through AI or some kind of cloud computing, so that in the client side or the remote side or mobile device side, they don't need to have a very intelligent device in order to do all the computations. So 5G can actually accelerate, I would say, this kind of application that they need the cloud computing or data analytics in the central or core part of the or big data. All these kind is merged together with the, because last few years we talk about a lot on big data, we talk a lot on the AI, we also talk about on cloud computing. But actually, when all these will be emerged in the 5G scenario, then it can actually make use of this to do this even more. And because of the 5G, the IoT, the capacity, then more and more this kind of application can be done in a more cost-effective manner. Because previously they can also do it, but it is a very costly, either because of the carry of the data itself is very costly. They have to pay a lot for the broadband or the internet connection itself. But because of 5G, it can drive down the data volume. We can see that the service plan we have received so far, the mobile operators are launching so far, the price per megabyte or per gigabyte is actually going down very, very, very sharp. So the applications or the developers can make use of much more cost-effective manner to do the applications, and also make use of the newer technologies to carry out what previously can seen in movies to be really implemented. Maybe I pass it to Eddie.
Thank you very much, Sidney, for starting the answer so well. And I want to again reflect on a point that I made earlier. People keep asking, what can 5G do that 4G and Wi-Fi cannot do? Now, basically, it's exactly as Sidney said. You know, we have a lot of these analytics, IoT applications even today. Is how we can do it better with 5G. Now, Sidney went with the throughput and the cost angle, and I would like to further elaborate on the functionality level. So, as we explained, you know, if in legacy technologies we can support lower throughput and longer latency for IoT applications. Now with 5G, we can increase the throughput while at the lower cost, and we can enable things like a closer control better. So IoT is a big word, and a topic that we have been looking at is called mission critical Internet of Things. So it's not just conventionally, you know, you're reading your water meter, reading the status of a certain device. With 5G, then we can do more precision and timely control, like cloud robotics, to mix and match with different type of connectivity and application requirements. So 3 things in summary is lower cost, so easier deployment and proliferation of the technology, and we can do more fancy interactive control for more advanced applications, which could otherwise in the past we can implement either with super high cost or things cannot move. Now we can move it, we can control it remotely. So these 3 points. Thank you.
So thank you so much to Eddie and Sidney for giving us, very good answers for a very broad question. So I think probably we have come to the end of this webinar. So thank you so much once again to our speakers as well as the attendees. Okay, have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.